Hi, divine babies. How are you? So, I'm gonna hop on in here with a message. There's like a lot of whispers, right? It's like there's a lot of whispers surrounding whatever it is you have your sights set on, right? It's like there's uh, whether there are whispers now, it's like you can hear these whispers, right? So it's definitely definitely uncomfortable energy, right? But there's a need to keep things on the down low, right? Keep things quiet. And it's like you don't know about it right now. It's like you're being asked to forgive without knowing the extent of what you are forgiving, right? It's like do you trust source enough to follow the task ahead, right? Because whatever this situation was, like again, you may not see it now, but this happened for the best, okay? Because this has everything to do with, um, like when people don't know how to handle your energy, they want to like control it or destroy it, right? And energy can't be, your energy can't be controlled or destroyed. Um, and it's like everything has to do with you making up your mind, right? It's like you know that there's things intentionally hidden from you, right? You know that that was done purposefully. And the intent behind it, that's besides the fact. It's just the principle that you are now aware that things have been intentionally hidden from you, right? But everything happens for the best because it all has to do with your energy, right? Because your energy is something special about your energy, right? It's precious. 222. It's sacred. So you could be feeling a lot of discomfort, right? Because it's like you had this idea, you had like a game plan and it took a lot, right? It took a lot for you to muster up the energy, right? It has nothing to do with strength or courage. It really just had to do with energy, right? Because what I'm picking up on is a group, an individual who is just so drained, right? So drained, but and I'm just hearing like, shh, like just don't even like talk about it. Like I don't even want to, you know what I mean? Just like, just the thought of thinking about certain things you're going through or have had to go through these past several weeks, right? Several weeks, couple months. It's like shh, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. So at least you have a little bit of a sense of humor, so that's a good thing, right? But I mean, in my opinion, I feel like you have to try to have a sense of humor, especially when you're uncomfortable, because it's all about energy, right? If there's discomfort, there's stuck energy, okay? Something is not, excuse me, something is not moving in the way that it should, okay? And that's what's causing such discomfort. And it's like, what is this discomfort trying to tell me? Okay, it's like you've done all the tricks in your book. I'm hearing, right? You've done everything. You've done everything you can think of that kind of helps you recalibrate your energy. Get back into the swing of things, right? But it's like this time is different. You know what I mean? It's like every other time is dress rehearsal 411, but this time, no, this time you got the scoop. So it's like every other time is dress rehearsal, right? So it's like you're looking for like that guidance, but you hold the guidance, right? It's like you're the one that's supposed to be relaying the guidance in some sense, right? But it's like the block right now is anger, right? And that anger it's like there's like a resistance to, I don't want to say tackling the anger, but it's like there's just a resistance to even understanding the intention behind the anger, right? Because it's like you understand that you're learning the lesson too. You're understanding that, like, you don't need to know every single detail to know that something is not for you, right? And yeah, I'm getting that this anger, right? It's like this anger is only going to intensify until you rest. It's like you're so uncomfortable and you're being thrusted into this position of discomfort because you need to rest. Maybe it's not physically rest, maybe you need to, like, rest your mind, like rest your heart. um, Spiritual warfare is never over, right? So it's like you're always going to be looking over your shoulder, but you know that you're protected, right? You know that you are co-creating with the universe. You know that you are, you know, anointed by source itself, right? So you should have no fear, right? And that anger is just like an invitation, right? Because what is anger is just what is that? Anger is just grief. Anger is just a means to hide grief, right? Or something like that. Yeah. It's like you're in this process of, like, shedding. Okay. So, and this isn't like any other time, right? Like, I don't know how else to make this seem like as significant, right? It's like this shedding that you're going through. It's like lives, like past lives, like you're shedding like past lives. And that anger that you're feeling, it's like the anger that you're tapping into is like past life anger. So it may seem like very volatile, out of control, and it's almost like there's like 7 generations of you working through anger at one given time, right? There's like that all time, across all time and space type thing coming through. So yeah, generational curses, right? And it's like this anger that you're tapping into is like, you're like, this isn't mine, right? But like it is, right? Because it's in your blood. It's in the energy of your blood. It's in the energy blueprint of your blood. And it's like, your calling is to heal these generational wounds, right? And to remove these generational curses, and it's like, you've been chosen to do this, and it's like, that's what's so uncomfortable, because it is such a heavy, it's a heavy, it's a heavy burden. Like, come on, let's be real. Like, you're working through lifetimes, like multiple generations of pain, of things that held your lineage, your bloodline back, right? And it's like, you feeling that pressure, and don't let it get you like too wrapped up in your head, right? It's like, don't psych yourself out, right? Because what you have in front of you, right? You're like on the precipice. You're standing right on the precipice of something like beautiful. Like, you're standing on the precipice of your blank canvas, right? You just need to stop resisting discomfort, right? Don't look at discomfort as like a negative thing. Like, look at discomfort as an invitation, right? Look at every emotion as an invitation. And specifically with this shedding, right? Like the resting and the shedding, like, you need to rest so that this shedding process can continue, right? So it's like you're evolving rather quickly, right? So be mindful of that, okay? Like, be sure that the body has enough time to catch up with the other multidimensional bodies, right? You're giving yourself a blank canvas, okay? But it's way deeper than that, right? Because not only through this shedding and through this purging throughout lifetimes, right, that you've prepared for throughout lifetimes, and need to make that clear, throughout lifetimes, it's like, it's not just this blank canvas that you're being gifted, right, that you've worked your ass off for right now. It's way deeper than that. There's going to be something, it's like a hidden gift, a hidden treasure, like like a found object. You're gonna find something along this next leg of this journey of coming into contact with this blank canvas, of completely wiping the slate clean, right? It's like you're gonna find something, and it's like, whether it's a talisman, whether it's a gift, it's a tool, whatever, there's something that you're going to find that's necessary for you to have, right? To go into the void, right? Because you thought that you thought that you went deep. Absolutely not. You're called to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. The never ending onion. It doesn't stop. There's always a layer to go deeper. Like, you can always push it deeper. You can always explore yourself a little bit deeper, right? How you could push yourself, like, how are you going to push yourself in the dark, right? And at the end of the day, you just have to do your best. And your best is going to look different every single day. Like, your best today may be you just did the bare minimum. And you did what you could do, right? And you went for a nice sun gazing walk at sunset or something like that, you know? But you understand what I'm saying? It's like, no matter what you do. And then the next day, you run a marathon, you write half your book, and you do all this other stuff. So it's like, your best is different each day, but you just have to do your best. And that's for you, right? It's not for anyone else. It's also for this symphony as a collective that I like to talk about too, of course, right? Like, you want to do your best because that just helps the music flow a little bit better too. And by you doing the best, you hope that it kind of uplifts the vibrations of those around you, right? Like, when we fast, when you fast, you are raising the vibrations of those around you, right? I don't know exactly how much, but like the radius, like, because your frequency is so high, it's like people can't come around you unless their frequency is as high too, right? That brings me to like that saying, like, match the energy. Like, no, you don't match it. You want to imprint it, right? Because energies are, you don't want to match. Like, think about it. Really think about that. Like, do you really want to be matching like some trickster low vibrational energy, right? Or would you rather just say, like, no, you can, this is the energy I'm imprinting in the room. You can either meet it there or you just fall off, right? Excuse me. That's how energy works, and all the universe is asking for you to do is your best, right? Like, you need to co-create with the universe, and in order to co-create, it's not just you doing this stuff, and it's not just the universe either, right? You're doing this together. It's a joint effort. So if you're going to do your best, then the universe is able to kind of match that as well too, right? And that's not to say that there won't be any chaos, right? Because with every new beginning, there's chaos. With chaos comes great opportunity, right? So comes great opportunity for beginnings. With great chaos comes great beginnings, right? Like, think of a baby being born, like, that's actually like a very chaotic event. Physically, when you look at it, we can do things to not make it like so much, but it's such a cataclysmic event. It changes everything. It's like, this is the type of energy I'm talking about. This is like this brand new beginning that's coming through, right? And it's like disguised as chaos. Okay, so it's like you're looking around you and you're like, everything is falling apart, everything's going to shit, and it's like, actually, it's making room, right? Because things have to break so that new things can be created in their place, okay? And it's like, these are like little secrets that you've been learning, right? And it's like the universe has been co-creating with you, but the universe has been speaking to you, and you're picking up on the language, right? It's like you're understanding, you're learning the language of the universe. Congratulations, welcome. welcome. And it's like, this is only amplifying your energy even more, right? So be really mindful of this. Be really mindful of the people that you have around you, and be really mindful of people trying to match your energy and trying to mirror you on purpose, right? Because people are getting very crafty these days. um, yeah, it's like, wow. So, like, you're in this chaos and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you believe it and you feel it. You just don't see it, right? So, it's like this is such a deep uh, test in blind loyalty to Source, right? Like Source is saying, like, do you trust me? Like, do you trust me? I will guide you through the dark. But I need you to be the light, right? It's like Source is like, I'm gonna guide you through the dark, but you're the light. And you're like, what? What? I just want to hold the lamp. And it's like, no, 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 you're the light. So it's like, oh, so I have to use me to go through this darkness? Yes, absolutely. And it's uncomfortable, right? Because it's at 1555, it's so different from anything you've ever experienced, right? And this is that type of tower that's like so healing, right? It's like one of those towers where you look back and you're like, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. It may look like it's the worst thing, everything falling apart, whatever. You may have lost your job, may have lost a loved one, may have lost, just there's so much loss, right? And you're going to look back and you're going to say that I am so thankful for that time because that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Very much hindsight is 2020, and it's very hard to get into that attitude of acceptance and gratitude, especially when you're feeling so much sorrow, right? And you know what's important right now? And right now, yes, and what's important when working through these heavy emotions and breaking these generational curses, it's important to have rituals, right? And your when I say rituals, I mean like your spiritual practices too, okay? And how you take care of yourself, right? Because that's a ritual too. You know, like washing your face, cleaning your body, soaking in the bath, all this kind of stuff. 1717. How are you healing, right? Turn healing into a ritual for yourself, right? And incorporate it into your everyday life because your calling, your purpose is so much bigger, right? And you need to stay up on your healing practices. You need to stay up on your protection rituals, right? And it's like before you get shot off, right? Before you start this brand new beginning, all this chaos is around because right? It's like the universe is saying like you have the power, you have the ability to yield the power to turn this around, to create your new beginning. I'm right here with you. I'm working here with you, right? And it's like this is what's being integrated into your current consciousness, right? It's like rituals don't always need to be like so serious and like, you know, like I have to, you know, I have to follow this step by step. Like, no, like have fun with it. Like play. Like you have to have rituals for your inner child too. Like inner child healing is a massive event that you take place in your life, and it's something that you just continually attend to time and time again because it's not done once, right? It's like you have to attend all these deaths and funerals of who you once were, right? So that you can be there for all these births and conceptions of who you are becoming, right? And it's this endless cycle of death, life, rebirth, right? It's this constant shedding, right? And when we shed, we make room for the new. And it's important to know your limits, right? Because as you are going to be accelerating, right? Like as your frequency raises and as you start to see things for what they really are and read in between the lines and see in between the lines, you need to know your limits, right? And you need to place its boundaries, right? That's all limits are. You need to know the boundaries within yourself and with your energy too. And you need to know the boundaries that other people need to have with your energy. Because whatever situation brought upon this realization, brought upon this current channeling is because someone or something or organization, whatever, group of people didn't know how to handle your energy. And it's like, that's the secret. And it's like, as you step into being the light, right? Being used, allowing God to use you as this tool, right? You're being the light. You know, God says that I'm going to lead you through the darkness, but you are the light. I'm going to use you as the light. And it's like, that position is not given or received without the hard work, right? Without the growth, without the change and transformation needed to put into that. Just like where you wear a new role, a new hat, you have a new role in everyday life. Like, you know, you become a parent. There's so many different things you need to learn now, right? So many things you need to shed, so many things you need to integrate, and so many ways that you need to grow, right? Because it's just different. You now have this baby to take care of. If you can like use that same analogy with this newer version of yourself, right? It's like you're nursing this newer version of yourself to life here, right? Nurture, nurture, nurture. Because it's like you're just the whole point, right, is like this blank canvas that Source has been set co-creating with you, right? Like you've subconsciously, whether you realize it or not, you've been the reason for all the chaos and destruction in your life, right? Because you have been co-creating with Source to get to this higher level, to get to this next destination. And where you're at now is just completely out of alignment, right? It's out of alignment. So how do you get in alignment? Well, you got to move energy around. And things crash and burn a little bit, but it's only to make space, right? Like you're only breaking so you can burst. And it's like this growth, this chapter of growth that you're going onto, it's like, take it slow, like savor it. You know what I mean? Like the finish line is not right here, it's way down there. So just enjoy the ride as you can, right? Because it's like, this is all about you following your north node, your north star, 2222. This is about you being the master of your life, right? It's like you've been the destroyer of your life for too long. Like now be the master, co-create with Source. You got this. Like this journey onto following your north star and embodying it, right? It's not a straight line. It's like a spiral, right? Like you spiral up in and out of ascension, you know what I mean? It's a process. It's not something that you do. Like you're not spiraling up in ascension like for the rest of your life now, you know? Like there's still like there's so many humans or whatever we are, we're beings, we're so multifaceted, right? There's so many layers. Okay? And it's like each layer is a portal in itself. And right now it's like your focus is on these emotions that are coming through, and it's important to really sit with them, right? It really is, because you're learning valuable like coping mechanisms, I want to say, or just it's not even coping mechanisms, because you're not just coping with how you feel, you're actually like dealing with it, you know, and you're transmuting it and you're making the change, right? So it's like it's almost like you're like amazed and proud of your own self. It's like, wait a second, I'm actually doing it. I'm really doing it, you know? So it's a lot. It's very intense, you know? So be aware that it's a spiral, okay? It's not a horizontal vertical line. You don't just go straight flat line. You don't just go straight up, straight down. It's a spiral. And this journey you're about to embark on is going to be even more of a spiral. Like, in fact, it represents a spiral. Okay? So yeah, it's like right now, it's the resistance that you have before starting this chapter is that anger, okay? And that anger really is a portal. And that's why this pause is here, right? Because you have something that's different, right? Like things haven't worked out a certain way because you are different. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you take a pause, right? Seriously, take a pause and take a look around at your life. You've been hitting wall after wall after wall after wall for a reason, right? There's a deeper meaning there. What's the common denominator? What's the common denominator between every single wall that you've hit? It's because you're different. You're not meant to fit the mold for a reason, right? It's like you have this, you're destined to be different. So stop trying to be something that already exists, because you're different, you're unique, right? And it's like your uniqueness is so needed. It's your uniqueness is like the key that you've been searching for. And it's been right smack in the middle of your face the whole time, right? And that's like the funny thing about destiny, right? Like more often than not, we're taking on this huge roundabout process, and it's just like, wait, but that's the destiny's right there. Destiny's that door right there. But you just took me all around here. Well, yes, it's the process. Yeah, it's the process. So enjoy the process.